everybody, today we are going to be doing a really fun project called scratch art. So you're essentially making your own scratch art paper and then scratching a design into it. So scratch art means you're scratching away something on top to reveal something underneath. Like maybe you've even done this before. There will be like, all I'm thinking of, not a lottery ticket. Maybe you have some there's those world maps and you can scratch off the places where you've been, things like that. You're gonna be making your own scratch art and drawing something inside of it. I'm going to be drawing a flamingo, but you could draw whatever you want inside of there and use whatever colors you want to underneath. So just not black. So you wanna use bright colors under, not black, or brown might be a little hard to see, but you still could probably see it underneath the black. So kind of think about the colors that you wanna use underneath. We're gonna draw a square, color it in, and then make the scratch art on top. This is really fun and the possibilities are endless. So let's get started. Grab your crayons and your paper, and we'll be using these a little bit later after we do this. And what you want to do first is just use any color you want and draw a box on your paper. So this is going to be the box that we're going to fill in with color. I might make mine a little taller actually, like that. We have to fill this whole thing in with color. That's why we don't want to make it too big, or else it's going to be a little bit hard to fill in, because we don't just want to fill it in like lightly like that. We really have to kind of press hard on the paper. Now when you fill this in, you can use whatever colors you want. Just try not to leave any of the white paper, and some of your crayons might break, and that's okay. You can just melt them together later. You might want to think about what you want to scratch onto it. Are you going to do a bird, a fish? You can kind of choose the colors based on that. I'm going to be drawing a flamingo into this, and I'm going to show you how to do it, but you do not need to draw the flamingo with me. You could draw whatever you want. So I'm going to kind of use flamingo colors. And scribbling is totally fine. This is going to be underneath. You won't even be able to see it. But you could create more of a pattern than I am if you wanted to do like a rainbow pattern or a swirl, anything. Just make sure you press hard and cover all of the white. And again, you don't want to do this on your whole paper because it's just a lot to cover, especially when we start using the black. And now what you want to do, this is what makes scratch art scratch art. You're gonna grab your black crayon and you're gonna cover this whole thing with it. So cover up all of your color. And you need to kind of press hard, because if you press lightly, it's not like, see how that's not really covering up the color. But if you press hard, it is covering it up. So cover all of that color up with your black, and then I will show you how to scratch into it to make your own scratch art. So just press really hard and cover it. This is kind of a workout. Take a drink break if you need it, and cover all of that crayon with the black. If you can see a few pieces, that's okay, because you'll see with mine you can still kind of see a few parts of it, but that's okay. All right, now we have our scratch art ready to be scratched into. I'm going to be using this flamingo I took at this bird sanctuary by my house, and these are flamingos. So I don't know why, I just thought that would be a fun bird to draw. These flamingos are not as peaceful as they might seem though. Check out this clip. So anyway, that was a funny day, but now what I'm gonna do is just kind of use shapes. I'm gonna draw this flamingo in. Its nice arched neck and its long beak. And its very long legs. And what you want to do, the nice thing with scratch art is you can use some of the things that we talked about when we did texture, creating texture. And you can use hatching to create some of that texture on here. Or other techniques to create some kind of texture, like these feathers, but maybe we want to do some hatching underneath, like in here. I'm just going to do some hatching just to create like a shadow that's underneath. And maybe even on the front of the neck coming up. And the beak is black at the end of it, so I want to make it look like it's a little bit darker. So I'm just going to add some hatching to that beak as well. And any of these shadows, go ahead and put an eye in. And you could add more details in the feathers if you wanted. I just think a bird's kind of fun to draw. You don't need to draw a flamingo. You could draw anything you want in here. This is just an example. And make sure you kind of clean off the crayon so you can see your lines a little bit clearer. But you can see the texture is really nice. And it's even nice just to draw like words in this. And you can see the colors underneath are kind of showing through the black. So this project is super fun, and also crayons are something most of us have access to. I didn't show you what it looked like with a paper clip. So if you want to use a paper clip, you can get kind of like a bigger line. Maybe I'll just put like some. It just scratches out a little bit more than you can get with a toothpick. Hi, how did it go? Did it turn out like you thought it would? How did you draw the flamingo, or did you draw something way cooler than it? Just kidding, a flamingo's really cool, but if you drew something else, then that's great. One thing I want to say with this project is it's gonna probably get pieces of crayons everywhere. This was the messiest project out of all of the projects I did. Who knew? Who knew little pieces of crayon? So just make sure you help clean up the space where you made this. I think that's an important part of being an artist and having the opportunity to do things like this, is if you help clean up. So now you know how to make scratch art. Now what I want you to do is try this technique, and I want you to try to make your own picture, and I would try a fish. Try making a fish. I would probably turn it this way, because the scales and the texture I just feel like would be so cool in this. You don't have to make a fish, but I think it would be really cool if you did, and I would love to see it. So have fun, and again, have a wonderful day.